Growing up as a kid, I never liked school. I was one of those kids. I just didn't like it at all. I did not like school at all. I hated it, in fact. And of course, which meant I loved summer. And when I was a kid growing up, summer ended the day after Labor Day. We didn't go back to school until the Tuesday following Labor Day weekend. But nothing symbolized the end of summer more than the Jerry Lewis Telethon.
Each year I think of how to start the show.
And just from that opening number alone, you know you're going to be in for 24 hours of spectacular entertainment. The Jerry Lewis Telethon would begin on Sunday evening. So it'd start around, as I recall, start around 7 o'clock on Sunday evening. It would run all through the night, all through midnight, early in the morning, all day, Labor Day, Monday. And it would wrap up around, on the East Coast, as I recall, about 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. But every time I saw that show come on television every single year throughout my school life, and also in my adult life when I saw it coming on, it left a pit in my stomach. It's one of the most depressing things. And it's not, I guess it was doing a good deed, I guess. But the fact that show was on symbolized the death of freedom and the beginning of back to school, or for me, what was torture. I always remember Labor Day being a gray, maybe even rainy day. That's how I have it in my memory, which is probably made up a lot. I'm sure there were a lot of beautiful sunny days, but it was always a gray day in my mind. So that grayness coupled with the Jerry Lewis Telethon, and they had a lot of cheesy acts. They would have this like a lot of has-been acts from the 70s and 60s that were not really relevant anymore, but they would come on the telethon because it was a lot of free exposure, right? Nationwide exposure. There were people on the show like Ed McMahon, who used to be Johnny Carson's sidekick, and Sammy Davis Jr. was a staple on the Jerry Lewis Telethon, and Tony Orlando, he's a singer from the 60s. Tony Orlando, he had a band, Tony Orlando and Dawn. He sang "Knock 3 Times on the Ceiling If You Want."
Oh my darling, knock 3 times.
So Jerry Lewis would put on his nice guy act, like he really cared about these children and blah, 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 blah. But you could see it was all bullshit. But, whatever it takes, people who are in show business, they want to remain relevant. Anytime they have a chance to be in the public eye and be seen and have their talents on display, they're going to do it. And Jerry did this every year, and he did it faithfully. And, I guess it was a selfless act, I'm sure. But he wasn't a really nice man in his real life. In fact, he had 6 sons from his first marriage, and he was estranged from every single one of them. Every single one he had no contact with, and he left them out of his will completely, his $50 million fortune.
Comic legend Jerry Lewis is having a last laugh on his own children. He has cut all 6 sons out of his will. Lewis, who died last month at age 91, left an estate worth an estimated $50 million. But his will contains this shocking clause: I have intentionally excluded Gary, Ronald, Anthony, Christopher, Scott, and Joseph and their descendants as beneficiaries of my estate.
I guess he wasn't that bad of a father. He actually remembered all 6 sons' names so he could explicitly write them out of the will. He actually had a daughter as well who was born out of wedlock, and he never acknowledged her presence at all. And it turns out she's homeless in Philadelphia, and she too was not part of the will.
Jerry Lewis also had another daughter who he never acknowledged. A love child, Susan Lewis, who Inside Edition discovered homeless on the streets of Philadelphia 2 weeks ago.
Papers are saying that Jerry Lewis is worth $50 million. Do you think that you're entitled to some of that?
I think that I would deserve something.
He gave all of his money to his second wife and a daughter whom he adopted, but they got all the money, and 6 of his sons got zero, zilch, ogats, as we say in Italian. Now, I don't know. You could see where a parent is estranged from one child or maybe 2 children, but to be estranged from 6 of your children says a lot more about Jerry Lewis than it does about his children. And I don't know why I watched it, by the way. Like, was I torturing myself? Like, maybe I'm like one of those people. I'm a masochist, a sadist, whatever the hell that is. Maybe that's what I am. I'm a sadist. I would watch that with that pit in my stomach, knowing school was the next day. But I would watch it, and they'd announce the final tote board.
Oh God, we have a final tote board number that we are about to present, and it's for her and a million other of my kids.
A million of his other kids, except his 6 sons and his daughter, who could go fuck themselves.
Let's look at it, please.
Jerry Lewis would be like, okay, Ed, tell us how much what's the total, Ed? And then, whoa, we got a total. And it'd be like $45 or $55 million. And he would start crying.
I know the feeling of all my kids tonight. They are so lucky to have you. I'm so lucky to...
I don't know why he's crying. I'm crying because I start school the next day. The kids are crying because they have muscular dystrophy. His own children are crying because they're out of the will, and one of them's even homeless. Everybody's freaking crying. The telethon, everybody's crying with the telethon. That's all I know. You watch the fucking telethon, you're crying. And I'm crying. And Jerry finishes with this song, You'll Never Walk Alone.
You will never walk alone. Thank you. Good night.
Goodbye, Summer. I love you. I'll see you in June. Goodbye, everybody.